was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
So if President Donald J. Trump, said he is going to lead the way to end mail-in ballots, if he says he's going to lead the way to end mail-in ballots, which one of our candidates for governor here in Georgia will pick that up and end mail-in ballots? I'm just wondering. All right, folks, I'm your host. I hope you had a nice weekend. I did. I'm working on a project. Got a little project going. All right. Probably take me to the end of September to finish the project. There's a couple hours here, a couple hours there. I've got other things to do. But, so I had a great weekend. I am your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Diane, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So, let me just say this. So Friday afternoon, I watched Friday afternoon. And I watched Vladimir Putin get off the plane, and I watched Trump greet him on the red carpet. I watched all of that. And I listened to the commentary. Now, I, for one, do not like, okay, give me 108 Face the Nation. I, for one, do not like to watch Fox News, but I'll pick another network, and usually that's CNN, just to listen to them narrate something. And how are you today? Did I go through everything? Did I say I'm BKP? You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Thank you for being here at 10 a.m. We will have the Georgia Hour. I don't even know if I went through that. But what number is that? That's 108. Give me 106. I probably called for 108, Diane. I probably did. Give me 106. So I watched CNN Friday afternoon. And I mean, the commentary on this meeting and many of the laughable things out there is that a war criminal, a pariah, Joe Biden spent years identifying this guy as a pariah, a killer, a war criminal. That on Friday, President Donald J. Trump, right, legitimized a war criminal. and put him on the world stage. Give me 111. They have lost their mind over Friday. Trump is trying to end what Biden allowed to start. Trump-Putin summit ends with no ceasefire, few details. So Trump said, come on, you ride with me. Ride with me. We'll talk. The red carpet, they're losing it over that. So I watched Friday afternoon, and it's just, I get an amazement of how bad they hate the country. They just absolutely hate the country. They hate Trump, but they hate the country. They really do. There's no reason why they couldn't discuss hope. Even these broadcasters hope that we could do something here, end the billions of dollars going over there, end the corruption, the Ukraine corruption, end the war, end the killing, have a peace in Europe, a lasting peace. You would think they could hope for that, but no. Give me number 109, and this was Face the Nation, right? And CNN was actually saying that Putin arrived to applause, right? Trump does this for everything. I don't care what it is. This is Trump does this, okay? A murderer, a pariah, a war criminal, but yet Trump applauds him as he welcomes him. 115 Russian roulette. So Zelensky is here now. He's here now. A delegation is here, right? A delegation is here from the EU. Now, they are discussing this morning. They discussed this weekend. Zelensky won't be in a room alone with Trump any longer. Never again. That 95, they are all here. They are all here to protect Zelensky this time. Yes. That's what they want to lead you to believe, that they're all here to protect Zelensky. Now, I want you to look at the picture on the screen, all right? And let's go here, Diane. Give me this one here, because I want you to go right here. Go to 97 and then go back here. Now, I want you to look at the picture on the screen, all right? Trump meets with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Now, they're enjoying their time together. They got very serious for 3 hours. Now go back to the other one. Attending Ukraine White House talks. Zelensky, Macron, Stammer, Melania, Malone. Is that how you say it? The Italian Prime Minister, right? Finland, Staub. What's his name? Merz from Germany. Ursula from the EU, and Ruddy, NATO Secretary General. None of this, not one single that much that Trump is involved in took place in Brussels. I've said that over and over. Not 1 second of this took place in Brussels. Putin came to America, Alaska, whatever you may say, but he came to America. Now, they're going to tell you that Putin came to us. Trump said, you come here. He came to Alaska. He came to America. These people are all in D.C. today because Trump said, look, I've met with him for 3 hours. Rubio, we have some things, Witkoff, Rubio, myself, and others. We have some direction we want to go in. If you want our support, you got to come and meet us here. Nothing is done in Brussels. I think that is a big. Now, the deep state corporate corrupt media, they're upset about it. They're upset that it's not in Brussels or somewhere else. So the hate, let's see, the hate. I thought I had it here. Chris Murphy, video 9.
Do you think that it's the right strategy to now focus on that broader peace deal?
That meeting was a disaster. It was an embarrassment for the United States. It was a failure. Putin got everything he wanted. I mean, first of all, he wanted that photo op, right? He wanted to be absolved of his war crimes in front of the world. He was invited to the United States. War criminals are not normally invited to the United States of America. He is intentionally murdering civilians. He's kidnapping children. And now he got to stand next to the president of the United States, legitimized in the view of the world. Second, he didn't have to give up anything, nothing. Right? President Trump said he wanted a ceasefire. It appears the ceasefire wasn't even seriously discussed. And then third, there's no consequences. Trump said, if I don't get a ceasefire, Putin's going to pay a price. And then he walked out of that meeting saying, I didn't get a ceasefire. I didn't get a peace deal. And I'm not even considering sanctions. You heard Secretary Rubio downplay sanctions. And so Putin walks away with his photo op with zero commitments made and zero consequences. What a great day for Russia.
What a great day for Russia. What a great day for Russia. Now, here is a congressman this morning. Give me number 76. I'm pretty sure this is. This is Bill Keating, video 20.
Happened here. The only thing that happened is Trump reversed his position. He came in saying he was demanding a ceasefire, and if he didn't get it, there'd be severe sanctions. He walked away with nothing. And Putin walked away from being an international war criminal pariah to getting the red carpet, limousine treatment, flyovers, and cringeworthy pats and salutations of Vladimir. He walked away the winner. Now, today is the big meeting, frankly. This really eclipses anything that happened on Friday. To have world leaders from Europe on a couple of days' notice descend on Washington, leaders of UK, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, the Secretary General of NATO, the President of the European Commission, all come here with so little notice, really underscores how important this meeting is today. I'm not exaggerating. It's not hyperbole. This has amazing impact today on the international world order that's been in place since World War II and the Cold War.
Russia walks away. We got nothing out of this on the world stage. Now, one more, because, Friday afternoon, they were, while Trump is in the back with Vladimir Putin, shaking hands and talking before they leave, and he departs. I'll show you in a moment in our next segment. CNN, all the other networks are over there like, Trump really looks tired. We've noticed how tired Trump is. And by all indication, by the looks on people's face, we got nothing out of this. Very little, if anything. You could tell. People are shrugging their shoulders like, I don't even know why we met here today. This is they were doing complete post-meeting analysis without knowing anything had happened in the room. Just guessing. Give me video 13.
If you're a Republican in Congress, you just saw a Kremlin kiss ass in the President of the United States.
Putin doesn't want a deal, and the only way to convince him to stop this diplomatic rope-a-dope, playing the president, delaying any kind of ceasefire, is through strength.
Democratic.
I don't know. I just got a text. I don't know the answer on that one right off. But, you know, there should be a time when foreign policy or something of this magnitude should have a hope for the best. I mean, what you saw was a Putin kiss ass. Look, on the world stage, let's not forget, all right? And they're very upset over this. They're very upset. But let's not forget, Russia is the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. That's right. Largest tactical or whatever they call, however they identify it, nuclear arsenal in the world is Russia. They're on the world stage, period. You don't have to like Rocket Man or Kim Jong-un, but guess what? He's on the world stage. He could strap a nuclear warhead to an intercontinental ballistic missile and send it to the West Coast at any time, my understanding from everything we read. So when it comes to Russia, if you keep pushing, you know, we have heard Putin say in the past he could use a tactical nuke in Ukraine. And I'm not for sure because I'm not doing the negotiating. Putin wants the route. Every single time the discussion ends, Vladimir Putin wants the root cause eradicated from Ukraine. Now, is that Zelensky? Yes, it is. Is that the fact that Ukraine is very corrupt? Give me number 57. You could go read for yourself. All right. Ukraine is a very corrupt country. Very corrupt. And one of the many reasons that the EU, NATO, many want to keep Ukraine just the way it is so they can continue to have this corrupt area that they can launder money, work with corrupt politicians. Ukrainians see corruption as a key issue even during the war. So today, they're wondering, will this I thought was, let me see if I have this one. Will Zelensky get, hold on a minute, will Zelensky get the same red carpet treatment? Will Zelensky, give me video 15.
Could be going into these meetings today. Yeah, I mean, you're certainly hearing that from Democrats who are slamming the Trump administration's approach, slamming the red carpet treatment. In Alaska, Senator Chris Murphy was among those who called it an embarrassment and said that Putin walked away with a photo op with zero commitments made and zero consequences. He said it was a great day for Russia. President Trump did not like that and fired back directly at Chris Murphy, as well as,
All right. Video 17.
If I can just pick your brain here. I think one of the biggest things that was striking to so many observers on Friday with the meeting with Russia's Vladimir Putin was the literal rolling out of the red carpet for Putin. Do we think we're going to see a similar, I guess embrace might be the wrong word, but just a rolling out of the red carpet for Ukraine's Zelensky when he arrives at the White House today?
Yeah, look, I think that's the big question here. Certainly the optics of the meeting on Friday, this grand welcome of President Putin back to the top table, essentially, of international diplomacy, the final slamming of the door on this era of isolation of Russia at the hands of the West was extremely striking. Certainly it's been playing very heavily across Russian media. They are banking this as a political win, essentially, that Russia and the US are now more...
So when Zelensky gets to the White House today, will they roll out the red carpet? Will he be treated the same way? Will Trump be applauding him as he comes in? What will the optics be? Because that's very important, the optics. How will the world leaders be met? So, give me number 32. We'll go into this afterwards. Face the Nation, Margaret Brennan. Trump, they're not going to bully Zelensky into a deal. That's the reason he's bringing back up. We'll talk about that. How about this right here? Yes. Texas Governor Greg Abbott did start a new special session. We'll have that in just a moment. But when 84, I think this is the one I want, 84. The department said a small number of temporary medical humanitarian visas have been issued in recent days, but did not provide a figure. The U.S. State Department stops medical humanitarian visas for people from Gaza. Like the individual, don't like the individual. Give me number 68. Like or dislike? That is the question. Because I'm going to tell you, Laura Loomer made the AJC, right? Conservative activist Laura Loomer has the ear of the Trump administration. She goes on X and start blasting out these humanitarian visas from Gaza. And just like that, the State Department put a halt on it. So we'll go into that a little further today. 89, Bill Barr will be testifying today, I think, to the Oversight Committee. Is it the Oversight? Bill Barr set to appear at the House Oversight hearing that's today. 5 other former attorney generals, 2 former FBI directors subpoenaed. So we'll get into that a little later. Let me see what else I have here before we go to break. How come this guy can be on TV when he should be in jail? He was everywhere yesterday. 116. This guy was everywhere yesterday. Jake Sullivan. The guy should be in jail, but I have one more. 103. Do you feel out there, wholesale vegetable prices? Now, this was on Channel 2. This was on WSB this morning about, let's see, what was that? That's 4:36 this morning. ABC, wholesale vegetable prices up 38.9% June and July. Do you feel an increase in your wholesale vegetable prices at the grocery store? Do you see an uptick in pricing on your vegetables in the produce department at the grocery store? All right, folks, let's take a break. When we come back, what may happen at the White House today with Zelensky, redistricting still in the question in Texas and California. So we'll go through that as soon as we return. Take a break.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on Voice of RuralAmerica.com. Diane, I found video 10 that I lost earlier that I had an error on. I sent you that, and then I sent you a graphic. I went ahead and went to True Social. Trump, President. On this day, when we're about to meet with the President of the United States and others, Zelensky, Trump just threw it out there. He had nothing to do this morning, right? President of the United States of America had nothing to do. Diane, I hope you had a good weekend. I hope everyone out there did. You know, I just want to take a point of personal privilege. Is that what that's called? I know this audience, and many of you send messages, and I know this audience. I'm going to stay focused. I am. I've got everything here to do. But just if you would pray for my mom. She's in the hospital, and she has to have some tests done today. That very, very important test today. So I spoke to her yesterday for a long time on the phone, and she sounds great, but there's some tests that they're going to do. So I know this audience, and I didn't want you to end the show saying maybe I seem like I'm somewhere else, and I'm really not, but I just wanted to say that, and thank you. Diane, can you give me 118? Now, I'm not trying to change the direction of the show. Not me. But let's read this together, okay? Let's read this together. Now, when this says it came out at 7:17, right? I'm preparing for the show. I have the show prepared about 7:08 in the morning, max about 7:08. I have the show prepared. So this comes out at 7:17 this morning. I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots. Okay? There you go. I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots. Sam Field, you know who you are out there. Pay attention, all right? And I want you to print this out and take it everywhere. I want you to take it when you ask these politicians a question. Now, I want those of you out there listening in Georgia, and we will talk about, I want you to print this out and hand it out to these politicians that are going to every barbecue right, across the country, going out there shaking hands, going out there saying they stopped biological boys from playing in biological girls' sports. Thank them and then hand this to them. Say, all right, now let's get serious. I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, and also, while we're at it, highly inaccurate, very expensive, seriously controversial voting machines. Bam! Bam! So I'm just asking, Burt Jones, I mean, we'll get to that in the Georgia Hour. Burt, you have President Trump's endorsement. You're excited about President Trump's endorsement. What say you? with which costs 10 times more than accurate and sophisticated watermarked paper. Boom. Boom. Trump up this morning at 7 o'clock, knocking it out of the park, which is faster and leaves no doubt at the end of the evening as to who won and who lost the election. We are now the only country in the world that uses mail-in voting. All others gave it up because it's the massive voter fraud encountered. We will begin this effort, which will be strongly opposed by the Democrats. Now, stop right there. Could somebody get a message to President Trump? This has been opposed by Republicans in my state for years. Everything you wrote in that first paragraph right there, the top block, not just myself. I mean, I have this great opportunity to bring information, but the real workers out there, and the list is so long. I mean, Garland Favorito, voter GA. I cannot just stop right there. I don't want to leave anybody out. I really don't. Paper, please. The people in Georgia that stood up and fought for microphones at the convention. So President Trump, this will not be just a pushback from Democrats. That's where, sorry to say, this is incorrect. Faster and leaves no doubt at the end of the evening who won and lost. Which will strongly be opposed by Democrats because they cheat at every level never seen before. By signing an executive order to help bring honesty to the 2026 midterm elections, remember, the states are merely an agent of the federal government in counting and tabulating the votes. They must do what the federal government, as represented by the President of the United States, tells them for the good of the country to do. With their horrible, radical left policies like open borders, men playing in women's sports, transgender, and woke for everyone, and so much more, Democrats are virtually unelectable without using a completely disproved mail-in scam. Elections can never be honest with mail-in ballots, voting, and everyone, in particular the Democrats, know this. I and the Republican Party will fight like hell to bring honesty and integrity back to our elections. So, Mr. President, we'll stop right there just for a minute. Republican Party. Just say it. Right? Not in Georgia. We have not had the backing of Republicans in Georgia for what you have on this notice here, Mr. President. The mail-in ballot hoax using voting machines that are a complete and total disaster must end now. Remember, without fair and honest elections and strong and powerful borders, you don't have a semblance of a country. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So, this is an executive order that's getting ready to come out concerning federal elections. Now, this will be sticky because of the fact that, yes, we have federal guidelines in our elections. States run the elections, county run their elections, but we have federal guidelines. So this will be quite interesting of what the president has put out. But we need to close the border. We need to not count illegals. So we'll talk about this a little later in the show, but keep in mind this right here. So when you need to print this out, no matter where you're out in America, I will use Georgia for an example right here. When he is Donald Trump endorsed, give me number 61. This guy's endorsed by the President of the United States. That's Burt Jones, to make his case for eliminating Georgia's income tax. I want to hear Burt Jones make his case for eliminating the machines, the mail-in ballots, and going to watermark paper ballots. I want to hear him make his case. He is Donald Trump endorsed. So that is a little different direction. So look, take that down. I didn't want to wait till 10 o'clock to do that in the Georgia hour, because that's out there. And we're going to go through the graphics here momentarily. Here you go, number 40. Redistricting is big where that's concerned. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's see. What else do I have here that I want to make sure of that we get to? So let's do this so we can get a nice foothold on the Zelensky meeting today. Get ready for the 10 o'clock, the Georgia hour. And Ed Martin, I hope Adam Schiff, Letitia James, many others, I hope Ed Martin can accomplish what he thinks he has the ability to do. So let's take a break. We'll come back. That way we can get focused. I wanted to get that out of the way. We'll be right back.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. We're going to go through a couple graphics from around the world. There's a major meeting in Washington, D.C. today. Diane, I hope you're doing well. A major meeting in Washington, D.C. today, considering the Zelensky and European leaders are going to be in D.C. today. Keep this in mind. Everything has taken place, no matter what the media says. It's not happened in Brussels. All right. And, I have said multiple times the decisions are made in Brussels, and Washington, D.C. is a TV show made for TV production. Fortunately, we have a president of the United States that does not care what Democrats think, does not care how bad they hate our country, is staying focused on the people, you and I, that love our country, and we'd like to see peace worldwide and no more foreign wars, because, for everything that the discussion where Democrats are concerned, there's never a talk. What Trump's doing right now is keeping my nieces, my nephews, my grandchildren, your grandchildren, trying to keep our men and women from going to war on foreign soil, not in the defense of America, not in defense of our country, but for someone else once again around the world. He's trying to stop that. And however he can accomplish that, I'm okay with it. If that means Vladimir Putin goes to Alaska, I'm okay with that. All right? Give the guy a whole roll of red carpet to take home with him. I don't care. But the hatred for America. Now, they got done with the meeting the other day, and I'll show you a couple pictures because it drove them absolutely. The media this morning, it's driving them nuts all weekend long. 77, 78, and we'll start there, 77. A couple of the graphics this morning. Trump backs plan to cede land for peace in Ukraine. 78. Trump tells Zelensky that Putin wants more of Ukraine, urges Kiev to make a deal. Here they are, number 79. Ukraine and allies left scrambling as Trump shifts toward Putin after Alaska summit. 80, the Washington Post, Trump drops ceasefire demand for Ukrainian war, tells allies Putin wants land. So as they are preparing for their high-stakes meetings today, give me number 92. Zelensky is very upset. They are very upset because President Trump says today, I got everything worked out. Well, not everything, but I have things on the table with Russia, okay? You don't have the cards. So don't come here thinking you've got the cards, all right? President Zelensky of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, or he can continue to fight. I don't understand why the criticism of that statement. If he comes and he makes a deal, he can end the war, or he can continue to fight. Remember how it started. We'll talk about that. Remember how it started. No getting back Obama given Crimea 12 years ago without a shot being fired, and no going into NATO by Ukraine. Some things never change. You're not going into NATO. It's not on the table. It's 12 years. Obama allowed them to have Crimea 12 years ago. It's not going back. So, and the UN does not recognize Crimea. All right. Number 96. This has drove them crazy. Now, I want you to listen to just a couple minutes. Diane, I don't know when I'm going to break this. This is right after, I don't know where I'm going to stop the video and put a break on it. This was right after Trump and Putin's press conference, I think. CNN, Caitlin Collins trying to describe the mood afterwards. Video 10.
Let's go to Caitlin Collins right now. Caitlin, President Trump said there's no deal until there's a deal, and it does sound like the first part of that construct is the most important, no deal. And it's notable that they didn't take any questions.
Yeah, Jake, it seemed like for a moment he was going to let the Russian leader exit the stage and then take questions, but instead both of them left after Putin proposed this idea of maybe next time they meet in Moscow, and Trump seemed to say, I might get a lot of heat about that if that happened. And obviously the questions about what that looks like, Jake, in terms of, as we're listening to this and as we were listening to the world leaders say, Putin saying that they came to an agreement, but being very vague and not laying anything out. And then Trump saying that they, if they don't actually get a deal, they're not reaching a deal yet at that point. And making clear, Jake, that they did not get the ceasefire that the president came to Alaska hoping to get. That was very much what he was coming here to do. He did not announce that here on stage. It is very uncharacteristic, as you know, for President Trump to not take questions. And so that in and of itself stood out. And I will tell you, Jake, a few of the officials coming into the room looked a little bit stressed as they were coming in. There's only so much that you could read into that. And Jake, so the key question there is what this looks like in terms of whether they came to an agreement. But as the president was listening to President Putin make his statements there, he was basically, I flashed him a thumbs up to, signal, did the meeting go well? What did you think? He kind of looked at me and shrugged his shoulders, Jake, and offered a little bit of a half smile. So no real indication of what happened in this very lengthy meeting that the two of them had behind closed doors, but clearly not the expectation that President Trump was hoping for when he came here, though he did say he's going to leave here. He's going to call President Zelensky. He's going to call the other relevant NATO leaders. The question is
He looked stressed. As they came out. Many of the officials were looking stressed. They've been in meetings for 3 hours talking about trying to become, create peace, figure out peace, a strategy to go forward. I asked him, was it a thumbs up? I don't know. Everybody looked stressed. I mean, no deal. So they sit there. I watch it. They sit there for 20 minutes, right? And give me video too. So that is immediately after the meeting. While Caitlin Collins is outside, outside, all right, and they're talking about shrugging the shoulders. Everybody looks stressed. No deal. That was Putin and Trump backstage. All right. And let me see here. So they're coming over today, and Margaret Brennan, this is what on Face the Nation yesterday, they hate this country. I mean, they absolutely hate this country. There's no hope in the media cycle. Give me number 45. No hope in the media cycle of success. They don't want success. And the reason they don't want success is because there's a couple things here. If Trump would have got elected, the war would have never started, right? And Biden could not do this. The Biden administration could not do this. Anything Trump does in the deal is just backing down and giving Vladimir Putin anything he wants. Give me video. Here you go. Marco Rubio humiliates CBS. Trump is a bully. He's bringing backup. Now, they're talking about bringing backup for Zelensky today. Video 7.
There is concern from the Europeans that President Zelensky is going to be bullied into signing something away. That's why you have these European leaders coming as backup tomorrow. Can you?
No, it isn't. That's not why they're coming us back. That's not true. No, but that's not why would, that's not true. They're not coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're not coming.
February Oval Office
they're coming here
in
tomorrow
front of television cameras where President Zelensky.
Do you know how many meetings we've had since then?
Oh no, I know, and I was just up in Alaska watching the one with Vladimir Putin where a red carpet rolled out.
No, but it was Zelensky. We've had more meetings. We've had one meeting with Putin and like a dozen meetings with Zelensky. So, but that's not true. They're not coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're coming here tomorrow because we've been working with the Europeans. We talked to them last week. There were meetings in the UK over the previous weekend.
And they said President Trump was going to demand a ceasefire
as early as Thursday. No. But you said that they're coming here tomorrow to keep Zelensky from being bullied. They're not coming here tomorrow. Oh, this is such a stupid media narrative that they're coming here tomorrow because Trump is going to bully Zelensky into a bad deal. We've been working with these people for weeks on this stuff. They're coming here tomorrow because they chose to come here tomorrow. We invited them to come. We invited them to come. The president invited them to come.
But the president told those European leaders last week that he wanted a ceasefire. The president went on television, said he would walk out of the meeting if Vladimir Putin didn't agree with one. He said there would be severe consequences if he didn't agree to one. He said he'd walk out in 2 minutes. He spent 3 hours talking to Vladimir Putin, and he did not get one. So there's
because obviously things happened during that meeting. Well, because obviously look, our goal here is not to stage some production for the world to say, oh, how dramatic, he walked out. Our goal here is to have a peace agreement, to end this war, okay? And obviously we felt, and I agreed, that there was enough progress, not a lot of progress, but enough progress made in those talks to allow us to move to the next phase. If not, we wouldn't be having Zelensky flying all the way over here. We wouldn't be having all the Europeans coming all the way over here. Now understand, and take with a grain of salt, I'm not saying we're on the verge of a peace deal, but I am saying that we saw movement, enough movement to justify a follow-up meeting with Zelensky and the Europeans, enough movement for us to dedicate even more time to this. You talk about the sanctions. Look, at the end of the day, if peace is not going to be possible here, and this is just going to continue on as a war, people will continue to die by the thousands. The president has that option to then come in and impose new sanctions. But if he did this now, the moment the president puts those additional sanctions, that's the end of the talks. You've basically locked in at least another year to year and a half of war and death and destruction. We may unfortunately wind up there, but we don't want to wind up there. We want to wind up with a peace deal that ends this war so Ukraine can go on with the rest of their lives and rebuild their country and be assured that this is never going to happen again. That's the goal here. We're going to do everything possible to make that happen. If it's doable, it will require both sides to make concessions. It will require both sides to get things they're asking for. That's how these deals are made, whether we like it or not.
What say you on little Marco? How do you think little Marco's going to, if this works out, if we can create a deal, put a deal together that the outcome is peace? What do you think his value is, little Marco, going into 2028? Just interesting, okay? So that being said, number 42, they want you to have the narrative. Zelensky enlists top European leaders for Monday's Trump talks. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. 41, The Atlantic. Trump has no cards. I mean, I'm telling you, these people just absolutely. The New York Post, number 43, Trump says Zelensky can end the war with Russia almost immediately by doing two things. Now, he's going to have to give up land. And why? Because, look, let's go into today. I don't know what's said behind closed doors. But you and I know that Russia has won this war. We know that. We know Russia won the war. I would say that's their position. They've never changed it. You know, from the beginning, they wanted the root cause gone. You know, let me see what else I have here. Number 47, Zelensky brings backup, the New York Times, to the White House as Trump allies aligns more closely with Russia. going into Russian media. Number 48. Zelensky could end conflict immediately, President Trump says. The Telegraph, number 49, the Telegraph headline this morning is Europe to urge Trump not to cave in to Putin's peace demands. Kiev, number 50, the Kiev Independent, Trump says no NATO path or Crimea return for Ukraine as Zelensky comes to Washington for peace talks. And 55, this was a Truth Social post from last night. Truth Social, big progress on Russia. Stay tuned. All right. And 56, this is where the media absolutely hate this guy, and this is what's wrong with all of them. They know it. It's incredible how fake news violently distorts the truth when it comes to me. There's nothing I could say or do that would lead them to write or report honestly about me. I had a great meeting in Alaska on Biden's stupid war, a war that should have never happened. They can't take that. They can't take that. If the war should have never happened and Trump was elected, so give me I have it here somewhere. Video 1.
I'd like to remind you that in 2022, during the last contact with the previous administration, I tried to convince my previous American colleague that the situation should not be brought to the point of no return when it would come to hostilities. And I said it quite directly back then that it's a big mistake. Today, when President Trump is saying that if he was the president back then, there will be no war. And I'm quite sure that it would indeed be so. I can confirm that. I think that overall, me and President Trump have built a very good, business-like and trustworthy contact. And I have every reason to believe that moving down this path, we can come, and the sooner the better, to the end of the conflict in Ukraine.
So they will tell you that they're concerned about China and Taiwan, right? That's what Chris Murphy, that's what they'll tell you, is they're concerned about China invading Taiwan. Folks, Biden, there was a discussion before this ever happened. Biden had every opportunity to work something out with Russia for this not to happen. Don't forget, Vladimir Putin went to the Olympics in China. Xi Jinping said, hang tight. Don't upstage the Olympics here. Wait till we're done, and then you go in. Now, Russia has a very good relationship with China, a very good relationship with Iran, a very good relationship with North Korea, to the point that North Korea will allow their people to die. Not that they really care, but they'll allow their people to die. They sent 10,000. They've committed 30,000 more troops to Russia to go to the front line of Ukraine. All right? Now, if North Korea goes and puts 30,000 of their troops on the front line, and they're fighting Ukrainians, if that switches and North Koreans are fighting the French or the UK, that will be different. That will change things. We have to prevent that from happening. We cannot allow that to happen. You can't discount that North Korea has already sent 10,000 troops there once, and they've committed to another 30,000, and we cannot have North Korean troops along with Russian troops fighting the French and the UK, if not others. Can't have it. Not okay. Then on top of that, if they're serious about China and they're concerned of China attacking Taiwan, the last thing the Chinese want, the very last thing the Chinese want right now is for the U.S. to have any kind of relationship with Russia. No, they do not want us to have any relationship with Russia. And they want us preoccupied over there. They want our weapons over there. They want our money over there. They want us preoccupied. And that's just the bottom line. And they don't want a relationship with President Trump and Russia. They don't want it. So today, Trump has to stand strong in front of these people and say, look, I'm trying to put a wedge between Russia and China. I don't know if that's possible. We can't sit here and just predict like CNN, MSNBC, all the deep state corporate corrupt media on how they look when they come out of a meeting, if they raise their eyebrow, didn't raise their eyebrow. That gets so ridiculous. But Trump knows what he has to do. And that's why it wasn't a ceasefire. He came out of there. Now, Putin's not going to accept anything less. They keep talking about sanctions. Sanctions are not working here, folks. They're not working. Obviously, Russia still exists. So, Video 14.
Stick as more of these world leaders get in the room. But I think President Trump's mindset seems to be defensive, frankly. If you look at his social media posts, he doesn't like the way that coverage has said that he didn't come away with a deal, which is just true. He didn't come away with a deal from Putin. And so there are those experts that are saying that Friday's summit in Alaska was a win for the Russian president. It validated him on the world stage after the Biden administration worked so hard to sort of make him a pariah on the world stage. Can you talk about the impact of the optics that we're seeing on the screen here? Was this summit a win for Putin? And how does that inform the way that President Trump could be going into these meetings today?
Yeah, I mean, you're certainly hearing that from Democrats who are slamming the Trump administration's approach.
They hate this country. They just do. Democrats should be hopeful. They should be coming out and making a statement that we hope President Trump can work something out and end the death and destruction in this country. But no, not at all. You've heard some of the nasty things. And video 22.
It's very interesting that Europe has learned the lessons of the first Trump term. It looks as if President Zelensky never wants to be alone in the Oval Office again, which is quite understandable given what happened the last time he was there. I remember once asking Henry Kissinger what role the personal relationship
72. Putin, Zelensky never wants to be alone in the Oval Office again. Now, 73. Here is NATO. All right. This is NATO. And you see where Poland, right there, Poland, okay, Ukraine and these other nations, see Ukraine, these other nations, Poland, Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, Turkey. Russia feels all the way up from Finland, Estonia, Latvia, that they've been surrounded. Now, I don't know what we could do as an outcome. This are the NATO nations. They're not the original NATO nations. They are not the original ones. Give me number 60. Since the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991, NATO has expanded to include a number of countries, predominantly from Central and Eastern Europe. In 1999, the Czech Republic, Hungary, and Poland joined. 2004, Bulgaria, Estonia, Latvia, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia. 2009, Albania, Croatia, and 2017, Montenegro, 2017, trying my best. 2020, North Macedonia, and then you have 23 and 24, Finland and Sweden. These are all countries that have joined, all right? Many of these countries, excluding Finland and Sweden, were formerly part of the Warsaw Pact or territories of the former Yugoslavia. Remember when Yugoslavia broke up? There's a lot of history here that we're discussing right now. So today, I haven't, let's see, 38. This is Ursula, right? Ursula says international borders cannot be changed by force in Brussels ahead of Trump meeting. International borders cannot be changed by force. Number 37, that's a Russian news feed there. Here you go, 37. This is from a Russian emergency press conference in Brussels. They had an emergency meeting yesterday. They are on their way here. Let me show you one more time as we get to Ed Martin. I want to talk about Ed Martin, Letitia James. Let's see. I had that just a minute ago. Give me number 95. So Zelensky is in Washington, D.C. They're all worried on if he will get the handshake, if he will get the applause, if he will get the reception at the Oval Office with the red carpet. Attending with him is Macron, Stammer, Meloni, Staub, Merz, Ursula, van der Halven, right? I think van der Leyen. Hey, Trump is making the deal. China is watching. Very close. All right, take a break. When we come back, Nelson. Ed Nelson, is that his name? When we come back, take a break.
Today's Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Today's Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. We have Texas. Hi, Diane. In an hour or 30 minutes, we have the Georgia Hour. It'll be time for the Georgia Hour. Texas, number 83. They have definitely a second session. Texas Senate panel again advances redrawn congressional map. Now, the Senate has not left the state. They have a quorum. It's the Texas State House members. They don't have a quorum. So Texas has once again gone into a special session, 94. I think the other one ended on Friday. Texas has Democrats release a plan to boost party's California U.S. House seat and fight for Congress. So what we have to do is we have to make sure that the fight, what it's really about in the redistricting is one, remember this, right? And this is all the time we'll spend on redistricting today, but that when we talk about President Trump, and we may do this in the Georgia Hour, and he talks about mail-in ballots and voting machines. Number one, when you can get over there, I know it's a different graphic she has to make there, so I don't want you to think that the Supreme Court blocked Trump's administration for citizenship in the 2020 census, right? Number 10, let's not forget this. Now, as you hear, we talk about this all the time. President Trump puts it out. I agree with it. Republicans put it out. I think it's great that the border is closed. I think it's absolutely great. The border is closed. No one's coming across the border, and we've secured our southern border. I think that's absolutely great. But don't forget, this is just a highlight. 761, 169 is the average number of people in a congressional race. And then give me number 13. The answer is, I asked the question to AI, will illegals be counted in the 2030 census? And the answer is yes. So you can use 10 million. 30 million, I've heard 50, but you can go with 30. I mean, we had months, keep in mind, we had months that there was 260,000. We had months where those numbers were right there that were crossing the border in 1 month. 260,000 just in 1 month alone, a third of a congressional district. More than a third of a congressional district crossed the southern border in just 1 month alone. So this is our real battle. We have a battle with mail-in ballots. We got a battle with machines. This is the real battle out in front of us, is counting illegals in our census, altering our congressional districts, right? And from there, our presidential campaign to try to keep Republican House and Senate and the White House. So take that down. Now, I said this earlier. Now, Laura Loomer can fight with, give me number 68. She can fight with MTG, anyone she wants. But there's the AJC. And just like that, number 59, right? August 16th, today's the 18th, August 16th, following the release of my report yesterday exposing flights of Gazans arriving in airports across the U.S., the United States Department, the U.S. State Department, just announced that all visitor visas for individuals from Gaza are being stopped. So the department, you see the department, Laura Loomer put that up. Well, they're giving her credit for it. Give me video 18.
The U.S. State Department has announced it's stopping all visitor visas from individuals from Gaza while it conducts a, quote, full and thorough review. Several pro-Palestinian groups are now condemning that decision. The move comes after far-right-wing activist and Trump ally Laura Loomer wrote on social media last week that Palestinian refugees had entered the U.S. this month. Loomer's claims sparked outrage among some Republicans, including from Congressman Randy Fine of Florida, who described it as a, quote, national security risk. So far, the U.S. has not indicated whether it would accept Palestinians displaced by the war. The State Department did reveal last week that a small number of temporary medical humanitarian visas have been issued, but it didn't provide an exact figure. Meanwhile,
84. Then go to Randy Fine, 84, 85, and 86. Even CNN, I thought I had it here from CNN also. See if I can find a graphic. 91, even CNN. They're all reporting this. U.S. suspends visitor visas from Palestinians from Gaza. I'm telling you what. Agree, disagree, support, say it's wrong, say it's right. Laura Loomer has juice when she puts something out. State Department ended that rapidly yesterday. Now, 82, 81. Let's go with 81 and then we'll go to 82. Senator Adam Schiff, Democrat, under investigation for mortgage fraud. All right, and then give me 82. Ed Martin on investigation into Adam Schiff. So Schiff has two houses, one in D.C. and one in California. Let's go with video 11 first on Schiff, video 11.
Particularly brazen. I mean, for years he claimed homes in both Maryland and California as his primary residence. The law allows you only one. And he actually admits what he did, but, he claims, all members of Congress have two homes. Well, that may be true, but all members of Congress don't claim them both as primary residence and violating the law, committing crimes. So
okay, primary residence. He has two homes. He has one in California and one in Washington, D.C. And he claims both of them are his primary residence. You cannot do that. I mean, your primary residence is where you vote, where you're registered to vote. It has, but also I don't know about California and its primary residence where it's at in D.C. or in Virginia, wherever it may be. But here in Georgia, you could only have one primary residence. That's it. You can't have two in the United States. You can only have one primary residence. And for the most part, the reason is you have taxes that are paid under the structure of primary resident, maybe homestead exemptions, right? Whatever is in your state as far as tax exemptions for primary residents. You cannot claim that residence at two different places. You can't do it. That's against the law. Now, Letitia James, video 12.
And the case against Letitia James is equally compelling, and good luck claiming that others prepared the documents for her, because she's on record stating you can't blame others, you're ultimately responsible. So she's trapped herself with her own words, Jason.
So Martin has an investigation, ongoing investigation. We want somebody in Washington, D.C. to be, or not just D.C., someone to get indicted, someone to get arrested. But listen to Marie Bartiromo, listen to Martin talk about these investigations yesterday with her. Video and what all he is looking at, video 6.
You generally don't just do it on one thing. So we have that's our what we're asked to do as prosecutors, and that's what we're doing.
Well, we are all waiting for accountability here. Adam Schiff went on Sunday morning programs and said there was collusion in plain sight. And he was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, so he had to know better that there was no evidence of any collusion in plain sight. So are you saying that this criminal referral is about something completely different, about mortgage fraud? Are you looking to get him on something other than Russia collusion?
Well, I'm saying that there's a referral from Bill Pulte about a mortgage fraud, about Adam Schiff. That's publicly discussed. His own lawyers have been out there. Now there's more on Adam Schiff. And all we're going to do, again, is get to the facts of this and use all the tools that we have in our system. What we've discovered, and I know you want to ask me about some of this, in the weaponization, is that Joe Biden's Justice Department actively targeted American citizens. Catholics who went to Mass, parents who went to school boards, people who were involved in the Russia. You know, I hear from Carter Page every now and then. Carter Page was destroyed by the Russia hoax, and we're sitting around and pretending it's okay to say that, you know, there was a secret meeting on December 9th, 2016 in the Situation Room where they plotted the Russia hoax, and then we're going to say, oh, that was really bad. No, it wasn't really bad. It needs to be held accountable in every way we can.
Wasn't really bad. It's a crime. It's a crime. It wasn't. Oh, it was really bad. Now, MSNBC, they're upset that they're investigating Schiff and Letitia James. They respond to what you just heard. I think it's quite interesting. Video 19.
Is speaking publicly about his investigation into mortgage fraud allegations against Democratic Senator Adam Schiff of California and New York Attorney General Letitia James. Attorney General Pam Bondi appointed Martin. Remember, he's a conservative activist who led the Stop the Steal efforts and also a former interim U.S. attorney for Washington, D.C. He's appointed as a special attorney to look into the two Trump critics. Martin spoke to Fox News about it over the weekend.
We're going to go to the very bottom of the facts, and if somebody did something wrong, we're not only going to hold them accountable, we're also going to look at everything else that they've been doing, because when you're a liar, you lie not just on one thing. When you're a cheater, you cheat not just on one thing. When you're doing corruption, you generally don't just do it on one thing. So we have that's our what we're asked to do as prosecutors, and that's what we're doing.
Last week, an attorney for James called the investigation, quote, the most blatant and desperate example of political retribution by the Trump administration. Schiff's lawyer called the allegations, quote, transparently false and criticized Ed Martin as brazenly partisan.
So what we find is when you lie, you can lie about everything. When you cheat, this is not it. We're going to look at everything, because when you cheat about everything, concerning everything. And when you're corrupt, It's not just this, you're corrupt about everything. So we're going to look at everything. I absolutely love that because there's so many things that I deal with on a daily basis that it's not they lied about this. They lie all the time. It's not that they cheat about this. They cheat all the time. It's not about being corrupt concerning this. They're corrupt in other areas. So we're going to look at all of it. And he led the Stop the Steal, Ed Martin. So there is something you definitely want to keep up with. A couple things before we get to the Georgia Hour, because we're right on the edge of that. We'll get in. Let's see. I have a couple things here I want to put on the screen before we go, because we're going to talk about it. Number 51. We'll talk about this in the Georgia Hour, but this is a national. This is from The Hill. This is going to be national. Georgia GOP fears bruising primary and race to unset Ossoff. There's our 3 Republican candidates. We'll get into that in the Georgia Hour. It's going to get pretty ugly. Take that down. Don't forget, Lindsey Graham has 21. Lindsey Graham has a serious challenger in South Carolina. That is, Lindsey has a serious challenger. Do not think Mark Lynch. He put $5 million of his own money up. Do not get caught off guard. We do not like Lindsey Graham. We don't trust Lindsey Graham, and we'd like to see Lindsey Graham out. And like I said, he has a serious challenger in South Carolina. Number 23. This is a story that the reason I like this story or wanted to highlight this story the other day is Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is not only roughly $50 million in the hole, but they're $75 million. And we played the video the other day, $75 million in the hole. This is all across the country, not just the Chicago or the major cities. We put that up last week. Go look at the story for yourself. Pull up. There's $75 million in the hole. Go ahead and take that down. I got to check and see where's Zelensky now. And property tax. Give me 104. Property tax. Right here. This is down in Jonesboro, Georgia. A property tax increase all over the United States. All right, so let me run this one here, Diane. The Zelensky right here, video 5. Run video 5 for me.
And it's very important that you are with us and that we speak to America and we speak together. And it's important that Washington is with us. And today, in several forums, we are deciding what we are going to discuss in Washington. Dear journalists, it's crucial that Europe is as united now as it was at the very beginning, as it was in 2022, when the full-scale war began. This unity really helps to reach real peace, and it must stay strong. First, we have to stop the killings. Putin has many demands, but we do not know all of them. And if there are really as many as we heard, then it will take time to go through them all. It's impossible to do this under the pressure of weapons. So it's necessary to cease fire and work quickly on a final deal. We'll talk about it in Washington. Putin does not want to stop the killing, but he must do it. Second, we need real negotiations, which means they can start where the front line is now. The contact line is the best line for talking, and Europeans support this. And we thank everyone. Russia is still unsuccessful in Donetsk region. Putin has been unable to take it for 12 years. And the constitution of Ukraine makes it impossible to give up territory or trade land. Since the territorial issue is so important, it should be discussed only by the leaders of Ukraine and Russia at the trilateral Ukraine, United States, Russia. So far, Russia gives no sign that trilateral will happen, and if Russia refuses, then new sanctions must follow. Third, it's important that America agrees to work with Europe to provide security guarantees for Ukraine, and we are very thankful to the United States and to the President for such signal, and therefore for everyone in Europe. This is a significant change, but there are no details how it will work, and what America's role will be, what Europe's role will be, what the EU...
So we don't know what security agreements for Ukraine look like. We don't know what that looks like. It's very concerning. 115. Ukraine says we will not give up land. We want the trilateral. We want the trilateral meeting. Go ahead and give me number 114. We want the trilateral meeting. Russia has not agreed to meet with Zelensky. Russia won the war. Let's be very clear. Russia does not see a reason to sit down with Vladimir Zelensky. They do not. They think they are on a footing with the United States, that they can make a deal with the United States. Putin says in 2022, he tried to talk to Joe Biden. There was no talking with Joe Biden. Now, 75, we have been looking at this map, folks, for some time. Right here, we have been looking at that map for Crimea is 12 years ago. Not a shot fired. Russia took that away. Again, we are looking at this map for almost a year, just right there. Give me number, you keep hearing the Donbass region. Go ahead and give me number, had here just a minute ago. 117, this is yesterday. You keep hearing about the Donbass region. Here it is on the map. There you go, right? Ukraine says they're not giving it to Russia. Russia said, yes, you will give it to us. So we will see how that settles. Don't forget, Zelensky is going to be at the White House today. Number 95. None of it's taking place in Brussels. Zelensky, Macron, Stammer, Meloni, Staub, Merz, van der Leyen, and Mark Rutte. They will all be at the White House today. And, UK, number 118, they're in there discussing this right now, like, hey, wait a minute. You do know, no, 18. I'm sorry. That's my fault, Diane. I'm sorry. 18. You do know that we signed a 100-year deal with Ukraine. UK and Ukraine signed landmark 100-year partnership. You know, we signed this deal January 16th, 4 days before Trump became president of the United States with Ukraine. So where do we stand on our 100-year deal? Just saying. This guy right here, his dad, let's not forget number 89. This guy's dad hired Jeffrey Epstein, right? Bob Barr, former Attorney General. His dad hired Jeffrey Epstein at the private school there. I forget the name of it. Jeffrey Epstein had no degree, and he hired him. His dad did. Now he is in a hearing today behind closed doors with Attorney General over the Epstein case, that he oversaw the case. So, all right, we're going to take a break at 10 o'clock. We want to get ready, make sure we have everything ready for 10 o'clock, because that's when the Georgia hour. So we're going to take a little break. This is about 10 minutes, and we'll be back with the Georgia hour right exactly at 10 o'clock. Take a break.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCar Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
All right, folks, we're back. It's time for the Georgia Hour. It is August 18th, 2025. And I'm your host, BKP. It's time for the Georgia Hour on voiceofruralamerica.com. Now, we got a lot going on today. We got a lot going on this week as things continue to develop. We have the RNC. The RNC is having their summer meeting in Atlanta this week. Give me number, have it here just a minute. Number 64, the RNC will be having, J.D. Vance will be coming this week. Wonder if we'll hear about him meeting with any candidates. If he'll get in and out of town and just go to the RNC. We haven't heard the details yet, but several state GOP leaders say Vice President J.D. Vance is set to visit Atlanta at the end of the week. Vance was last in Atlanta in May for a fundraiser. All right. The meetings kick off tomorrow. Most of them will be behind closed doors. The general session begins Friday at the Westin Peachtree Plaza. That's when Republicans will elect a new chair to replace Michael Whatley, who is stepping down to run for a U.S. Senate seat in North Carolina. All right. Joe Gruder is running unopposed. Joe Gruder is running unopposed, a state senator from Florida, and he's got Donald Trump's endorsement. Now, what else Joe Gruder will have by the end of the week is maybe 200, we're going to say conservative, maybe 200 or more letters from the Georgia Republican delegates who attended the Georgia Republican Party, Inc. convention and do not like what happened there. Those letters are being sent and delivered to Joe Gruder by the Georgia Republican National Committee woman, Amy Kramer. So we'll go into that a little later. So J.D. Vance will be here today. Now, I have a question. Trump comes out, the president of the United States, and he kind of changes the direction of this program this morning and many others. But, you know, we're in Georgia. We're in Georgia where we know what happened in 2020. Now give me 118. So we're sitting here in Georgia where Fonnie Willis is still drinking Grey Goose. We're sitting here in Georgia where President Trump, had the mug shot taken down there at the Fulton County Jail. We're sitting here in Georgia where we have the perfect phone call with we have a phone call with Brad Raffensperger, Secretary of State, where Trump, as they say, was looking for, what was it, 11,700 and some votes, 80 votes, that they claim he lost in Georgia. But so since 2020, there's been a group, and this is big, and we won't take too much time on it, but there have been groups. So we'll throw out Kevin Moncla, we'll throw out Joe Rossi, David Cross, Garland Favorito, Kim Brooks. We'll give her honorable mention today. We'll throw that out. But there's names all across this state that have looked at data, investigated data, and reviewed 2020 election. Now, when you look at this right here, this is in part the reason they don't want Jason Frazier on the Fulton County Board of Elections. Fulton County. So, this sums up everything that many across the state of Georgia, across the country, but we're going to stay focused here in Georgia, have fought for. And this is going to cause some lawmakers here that are running for office a problem. I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, okay? And also, while we're at it, highly inaccurate, very expensive, and seriously controversial voting machines with cost 10 times more than accurate and sophisticated watermark paper, which is faster and leaves no doubt at the end of the evening as to who won and who lost an election. So, with that being said, right here you have the governor's race, and 61, and I have said this over and over. Burt Jones to make his case on eliminating Georgia income tax. Burt Jones is the lieutenant governor of the state of Georgia. He is running for governor of Georgia. Right now, the only other declared candidate that we're aware of is Chris Carr, the former attorney general, and we have Brad Raffensperger, possibly the Secretary of State, going to step in and run for governor in Georgia. Now, Burt Jones is endorsed by Donald J. Trump. He already has. He will have, let's go here. Burt Jones will make his number 4, August 26th. Today's the 18th, right? So next Tuesday. No. Tuesday week. Is that how you're supposed to say that? Tuesday week. He will have his kickoff. And right now, his number one campaign issue is ending state income tax if he's the governor. 61. So I think what we have to do now is say, look, we have to ask every, and we don't want to beat around the bush. We have to ask every candidate for governor, lieutenant governor, especially Secretary of State, and Attorney General. All of them, if they support what President Trump just put out. That needs to be like the front question for these candidates here, along with many others. All right? Needs to be the front question. Now, if you want to get rid of income tax, go ahead. We could discuss that at a different time. They have a study committee looking at how to end, all right, eliminating Georgia income tax. I've told you this over and over. I'll just leave it here on the table. If Georgia brings in $20 million a year, we'll just say that they bring in $20 million a year, billion, not 20 million. We'll switch that. Sorry. Let's go with a B. If the state of Georgia brings in $20 billion a year, all right, do you think they're going to end and eliminate income tax, but they're not going to bring in $20 billion a year? See, eliminating Georgia's income tax has a sound to it like eliminating something you will no longer have to pay. But I'm just going to look at you like this, and I'm not attacking Burt Jones. I mean, I'm okay with getting rid of any tax if it results in me paying less. But you haven't convinced me that I'll pay less. You have not done anything in the state of Georgia, not just Burt Jones. I'm talking about all lawmakers, past governors. You haven't done anything in the state of Georgia that leads me to believe that I will pay less money out of my pocket at the end of the year, whether it be fees, taxes, no matter how you get it. So if you're sitting here today and you pay the state of Georgia $2,000 a year in tax and they eliminate that, I think you'll still pay the state of Georgia somewhere $2,000 and probably $2,200 when they're done with you. That's the way I see the state of Georgia at the current time. So I wish him well as far as putting that out as a campaign, but I don't think that's the winning campaign strategy. I don't think so. Now, that being said, don't forget, he has worn the MAGA hat for 4 years. 4 years. He has been the Donald Trump-backed candidate for 4 years. He was the Donald Trump-backed candidate for lieutenant governor. So 4 years later, although we want to be clear, the lieutenant governor does not make the decisions. But 4 years later, we've only had one attempt that I'm aware of at the end of the session with not enough time to get it over the line of going to paper ballots. Only one attempt in 4 years. Or, no, he hasn't been in there in 4 years. That would be unfair. In the time he's been in there. So we still have a Secretary of State's office basically over our Board of Elections. Our voter rolls are still monitored by Eric. We're still in the Eric system. There's a lot going on that did not happen. So my question to anyone, Donald Trump put it out. So income tax. Now, let me show you this. And I don't want to put all this on Burt Jones's shoulders, other than he's the guy running for governor. He's the guy that's been in there. We had HB 518 that fell apart. Give me this one right here. Give me number. I'm going to show you something else here in a minute. Well, let's go ahead and go to 62 first. The Republican-controlled Georgia Senate is poised this week to take the first step in long-running push to eliminate state income tax. And Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones will be at the center of the debate. Jones, a GOP candidate for governor, is set to headline Tuesday's meeting of a special Senate committee. Now, that's tomorrow. A special Senate committee, nothing like a committee, exploring ways to phase out The levy, which now stands at 5.19% and is set to drop to 4.99 by 2027. He has said getting rid of the tax is vital to making Georgia more competitive with other states such as Florida and Tennessee. The panel is expected to explore how to offset lost revenue. Now, don't forget, it's not lost revenue. Offset lost revenue, including eliminating popular tax breaks and economic development incentives. All right, so they want you to believe that they can eliminate these tax breaks they've given to these big corporations and economic development incentives and offset getting rid of the state income tax. Folks, that would mean raising taxes on all these industries, which I don't disagree with, that they've given these enormous breaks. But then what happens? Do these corporations, now that they've already dug a hole and put their plant in Georgia or making movies in Georgia, do they start leaving? I don't know. But offset lost revenue. I feel you will be the offset of the lost revenue. Now, number 63, Attorney General Chris Carr. You could go read the candidate, State Senator Jason Estevez, Keisha Lance Bottoms, and former DeKalb County CEO Michael Thurman. This is their position on eliminating the state income tax. All right. He isn't ruling it out, says he's open to a proposal that will keep more money in Georgians' wallets while lowering housing costs, expanding health care access, and investing in public schools. But he said his concern will always be giving much needed tax relief to working families in the state, not giving handouts to billionaires and millionaires like Burt Jones. That's Democratic candidate Jason Estevez. So the only thing I'm going to say where that's concerned, I'm not against cutting or eliminating the state sales tax. I'm not. We have to keep an eye on what they plan to replace that revenue with. You got to pay attention to that. Now, I brought this up earlier because this is all over the state. And until we stop right here, give me this one right here, Diane. Had it here a minute ago. Sorry about that. Give me number. Where is my 104? So I'm watching ABC this morning as we continue to look. And this is happening today at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. There are two public meetings for the city of Jonesboro. Proposed tax increase, 91.55% increase. That's exactly what the screen says. Jonesboro City Center. This is a proposed tax increase. As the state tells you they're going to eliminate taxes, there's so many new proposed, whether it's the Board of Education, whether it's the county, whether it's your city, there are fees, taxes, property taxes all over the state that's going through the roof. And until lawmakers that are out there running for office step up and say, that's where we have to focus. All this talk about a sales tax, income tax being eliminated. So President Donald Trump put out President Donald Trump put out the no more machines, paper ballots, and no more mail-in ballots, what will our lawmakers say to that when you ask them that question? Diane, let's take a brief break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Fulton County, the Senate race, and a little bit about First Liberty building and loan, $140 million Ponzi scheme. But as soon as we return, we'll talk about the Fulton County Board of Elections, Jason Frazier and Julie Adams, and make sure everything's clear where that's concerned. Take a break.
Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP. No, you're not. What is it? Oh, there we go. We'll do it one more time. How you doing, folks? I'm your host, BKP. It's time for the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour on voiceofruralamerica.com. And, we talked about President Trump dropped at 7:17, and it is already flying all across the internet, especially Georgia. He dropped the no more give me 118. Is it 118? President Trump dropped this. I'm going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots, and also, while we're at it, these highly inaccurate, very expensive, seriously controversial voting machines. So take that down. So watermarked, secure, watermarked paper ballots. President Trump dropped that at 7:17 this morning. And here in Georgia, of all places, let's see. I find it interesting. Derek Dooley running for Senate. We won't stay there too long, but number 51, how this will affect the races in Georgia, because we're interested in how soon Buddy Carter will make a statement, right? So here's what I want to know. It's been dropped in Georgia. You guys know. The people out there know we have gone to meeting after meeting. Patriots have filled the room in Georgia at the state election board meetings, right? Wanting an investigation into Fulton County to continue we call it the Joe Rossi case, over and over. All right. In Georgia, we have a group called Paper Ballots, Georgians for Truth. Georgians for Truth, go look them up. Paper Ballot Please t-shirts, signs. There has been a major push across the state. So, on the other hand, they've been ignored. And I will say this, if you've been out there working for years, especially since 2020, if you've been out there working for years to get rid of the machines in Georgia, we just want rid of them. We don't want to fight. Okay, we don't want to fight. We don't want, when a lawmaker says, well, Trump won on the machines. Okay. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to fight. We don't want to argue. We do not want the machines any longer. All right? We don't. if a lawmaker looks at you and said, is there a machine that we can use? Right? So I was sitting in a lawmaker, and I'm blown away by this individual. And this past year, I'm sitting in a lawmaker's office in Atlanta, and we're trying to discuss with this certain lawmaker that, hey, we need these machines gone. We need election legislation now. And this individual said, well, is there, he looked at us, there was a group, and he said, is there a machine out there that we could use that would be okay? I don't know. You know who you are. You know the one in the room. Ask him to call President Trump and see if there's a machine that he would approve. So I am right now wondering, with this drop at 7:17, I got to get on to some other things. With this drop at 7:17 a.m., my question, Buddy Carter, okay, Derek Dooley, and Mike Collins, all three of you, do you support what President Trump just dropped here in Georgia? Do you support that? And what's your statement on it? Same thing goes for Chris Carr. We know the Democrats. Chris Carr and Burt Jones. What's your statement? Lieutenant Governor, Secretary of State candidates, what's your statement on what just dropped at 7:17 this morning from President Donald J. Trump concerning paper ballots? We'd like to hear how you feel about what our president said. Now, this is right here, number 58. So, let me see if I have. So Fulton County Republican Party put up Jason Frazier and Julie Adams to be their Republican representatives on the Fulton County Board of Elections. And that'd be number 22. So let's go to 22 here. And the judge said you have to do this. And we've shown you this. So there's Jason Frazier and Julie Adams. Just so you know out there for clarification, Fulton County Board of Elections, all right? Julie Adams is currently on the Fulton County Board of Elections. Her term is complete. They want the commission, the Democrats, want her off the Board of Elections in Fulton County. She will continue to serve until she resigns, or she's reappointed, or a new person is appointed in that position. Now, the Supreme Court of Georgia said you got to certify an election. Julie Adams chose not to certify an election in Fulton County. They look at her as a disruptor. They look at her as a troublemaker, and they do not want her on the Board of Elections. Same goes for Jason Frazier. When you start looking at, according to them, the number, right, that they have, let's see if I have it here. I probably don't, but Jason Frazier has sued Fulton County. He retracted his lawsuit, but Jason Frazier has challenged so many voter registrations. He's the guy out there finding multiples at one address, but they don't want him, Fulton County Commission, they don't want him on there. The Board of Elections don't want him on their board of elections. So they have said no. Now, the judge said, yes, you're going to put number 58, you're going to put them on. Superior Court judge said, yes, you are. You're going to put them on. And demanded that they be put on, the two Republicans on the Fulton County. Judge said, you must put them on. Well, the meeting came and went. The judge said that late on the 4th, August 4th. The meeting was on the 6th. Fulton County claims that, they didn't have enough time to get it on the agenda properly. And they came back. So Fulton County Republican Party said, you know what, we're going to take you to court, right? Because, you didn't follow a court order. All right? You didn't follow a court order. You cannot just ignore the court order. You're in contempt. So they take them to court. Fulton County writes, and I want to get you up to where we're at. Fulton County writes a 60-page request for a stay and a notice that they are going to appeal this to the Supreme Court of Georgia. So here's where we're at. At the end of the day, first of all, I want you to know, I thank God that there's a judge that is doing the right thing. Now, I hate to see what happens when we go a little further, but I thank God that we have a judge that's doing the right thing. And Fulton County has a lot of arguments that they're making, but their one argument is you can't force them to take these two individuals. Fulton County, the judge is saying, Fulton County is saying, look, you nominate, we appoint. You can't force us. If you force us, then what use are we to the process? We're not here to rubber stamp. Now, on another note, Democrats over at Cobb County just bypassed the whole system and put two Democrats on the election board over there in Cobb County. We'll get into that later in the week. Because what we have a problem with across Georgia, before I get into Josh McCoon bragging what he's done in Fulton County, is we have a problem because the appointment to Board of Elections in the entire state per counties is so convoluted, and there's no clarity across the state, or it's not uniform across the state. Every county, there's so many counties out there, there's 4 or 5 different versions of what people are doing based on filling the slots on the state election board or on their county election board. I might keep saying state election board. So Friday at 1:30, give me number 70, this happened because I want them on there. But this happened Friday in the Superior Court of Fulton County, state of Georgia, Fulton County Republican Party, order denying a stay. The plaintiff seeks to hold defendant, Board of Commissioners in contempt for their failure to appoint. The defendants contend they have not had time to hold a public meeting at which they could address the issue. So Wednesday, when you read this, all right, give me 71. When you read this, okay, the judge has denied their stay, meaning his order, that's not, 69, I'm sorry. That his order, the court has already found that a clear legal right to relief exists as required for the issuance of a writ of mandamus when the claimant seeks to compel the performance of the public duty that an official or an agency is required by law to perform, and the duty must be clear and well defined. So, the court declines the stay. The court directs the defendant board to comply with the order at its next regularly scheduled meeting. So, here's where we're at on Fulton County Board of Elections. Wednesday is the next Fulton County Board of Election meeting. We are looking right now, if you have the Fulton County Board of Election agenda, could you please get it to me? I have not had a chance to look for it. Wednesday's the meeting. This, according to the court, is next regularly scheduled meeting. So the court is demanding that this be put on the agenda and them approved Wednesday. So right now, Jason Frazier is not on the Board of Elections in Fulton County, and Julie Adams is not reappointed. Wednesday's a big day. You want to pay attention to the, if you like to watch those kind of things, Fulton County Board of Elections, Wednesday is a big deal. So if you will watch Wednesday, and could somebody, now let me say this. This is very disappointing because I don't mind a victory lap, but this is so telling, like everything else he does. Give me number 71. This is the chairman of the Georgia Republican Party after this. I am glad the work I started with Fulton County, Georgia GOP Chairman Stephanie Andres in 2023 is coming to fruition with the decision from Judge Emerson today requiring the freckless Fulton Board of Commissioners confirm the Fulton County Republican Party nominees to the Board of Registration and Elections. A huge thank you to Chairman Whatley and the GOP for the financial technical assistance that made this happen. So, what we need to ask Chairman McCoon is if he is glad with the work he's done in Forsyth County. If he's happy with the work that's been done in Cherokee County. We need to ask if he's satisfied with the other counties around the state that have had conflict problems. We want to know if he's happy with DeKalb County, where DeKalb County Republican Party just recently appointed 2 people to the DeKalb County Republican Party, DeKalb County Board of Elections, and they took one, refused the other, where Josh McCoon's friend, Travis Bowden, a.k.a. Cue Ball, was then appointed to DeKalb County Board of Elections after a Superior Court judge rejected DeKalb County's appointment or nominee, right? And I will tell you, DeKalb County is in part of Fulton County's argument, and there will be other counties around the state that Fulton County will draw their argument from. Now, I hope Wednesday it's over. I hope Wednesday it's over. Jason Frazier, it will be a major win if Jason Frazier and Julie Adams are on the Fulton County Board of Elections Wednesday, and it's done and over. They go to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court upholds that they're on the Board of Elections, and it's over, and we've got something from the Supreme Court. But before he goes and brags about what he's done, maybe he should check the cab, Cherokee. Oh, we could list several. In fact, if you're out there and you're in any county in the state of Georgia, 159, and you've had problems with your board of elections and the people you appoint and the commission receiving or accepting and voting on the people that you appoint, any issue at all, could you please get that to me? Because we want to show you that this is not just Fulton County. This is across the entire state that we have problems with, that Chairman McCoon doesn't seem to get involved with those or brag about the outcome. Take that down. So, let me see. Don't forget this. We have the $140 million Ponzi scheme in Georgia. The Secretary of State of Georgia, their office has increased. And I told you this story Friday. It's very upsetting. They have increased their scope. This guy here, number 15, Timothy, has been subpoenaed in the investigation. Now, I don't know what's going to end up happening here, but this guy is the chair. And I'll just say this. Priority has to be your family. I mean, I'm just saying your priority just has to be your family. You got to be focused on that, your job, whatever. But Timothy Nathaniel Darnell, as you can see, he is a broker or whatever it is, a sales representative for Bankers Life and Casualty Company. And there he is. And he has clients. And I met personally with one of his clients that he referred to First Liberty Building and Loan. And it's very heartbreaking because this guy right here, not only, give me number 17, not only is he sorry about that. I was freezing up a little bit. I don't have a lot of time because not only is he the membership secretary for the National Federation of the Republican Assembly, right? He is the GRA, the Georgia Republican Assembly president. He's under investigation. No matter what they want to tell you, he's been subpoenaed. He is under investigation. There is an attorney's office, number 14, that has clients already concerning him recommending. Now, I don't know this business and how it works, but I understand he cannot, by the rules, recommend his clients to First Liberty Building and Loan. And apparently, as you can see there, the registered sales agent, the Wappler Law Firm has heard from clients of Bankers Life Securities who were recommended to invest in First Liberty through financial advisor Timothy Nathaniel Darnell. Number 15, I have met with an individual that has an account with, I don't know what the boss is thinking here. I met with an individual that has an account with Timothy Nathaniel Darnell that this is out of the individual's mouth, not mine. He referred this person to the Frost family, and the individual lost $350,000, and he's 76 years old. So, and I put this over here because I just wanted to look as the investigation goes on. the company he works for, Bankers Life, and I pulled this up. I think I have it here, Diane. Yeah, give me this number 31. I don't know what's going to end up because this is plural with Timothy Nathaniel Darnell. And the only reason I say that is I don't dislike the guy. He has a family, he has small children. Bankers Life, we have put on this show. We can show you again in the week. During the week, we can put it back up to show you that Brant Frost V solicited and paid finder's fees, and paid recommendation fees, and paid reference fees, whatever. So this is what would be concerning, is not only if Bankers Life, as part of the CNO Financial Group, has $37 billion in total assets. These people are not playing around. They do not need a low level, okay? They don't need a low level salesperson causing them problems. They don't. Number 29, this is the albino rhino, Brant Frost. And what we do know, where Timothy Nathaniel Darnell has probably two really big problems, is one, referring his customers there, and two, we have the email or the text message, we don't have it up today, where the albino rhino here, Brant Frost, offered people a percentage, a finder's fee. So the question remains, did the chairman of the Georgia Republican Party refer anyone, and that would be Josh McCoon, to First Liberty Building and Loan? Did the chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, receive any finder's fees or any, anything in appreciation? So let's see what else I have here, because I had something else I wanted to go over before we close out today. Hold on. Now, 64, I want to put this back for a reason, and I want to show you this just before we go. All right. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, will be in town this week. Why? The RNC, okay? It is troubling to have to bring this. The RNC, okay, they're holding their summer meeting here in Atlanta. Now, Michael Whatley, the chair, very close friend to Chairman Josh McCoon of Georgia, is moving on, and he's running for Senate in North Carolina. Okay. Joe Gruder from Florida, around the Sarasota area, state senator, is going to be the new RNC chair, right? We have probably 200 plus letters, because I don't have it today, but how many times has President Trump dropped the rig election Truth Social statement? How many times? Right? Several. And we just watched President Trump drop the paper ballot this morning. Now, keep in mind, our 2025 Georgia Republican Party state convention was rigged from start to finish. Keep that in mind. All right. We've done great detail. We have put the information on the screen. We've showed you all the players, all the Frost family, all the connections of friends. All right. The microphones. You've got Courtney Cothran. You've got Tim Ryan, right? Is that his name? You got the guy up there. What's the guy's name in Hart County? Anyhow, I forget his name right off. You got Brant Frost. You got Debbie Dooley. They all blocked. So many of them blocked the microphones so that we could not change the rules in the beginning, Robert's Rules of Order, and make a motion to use paper ballots. You keep in mind, paper ballots. We were not only denied paper ballots in our state elections, we were denied paper ballots in our Republican state convention. Denied. They don't support it. So there is the state committee woman, which goes, the state committee man and your chairman go to the RNC meetings. Amy Kramer probably has 200 letters, one being from myself saying, our convention was rigged. It was rigged. There needs to be a full investigation. It cannot be okay. So we'll see what happens this week. This is number 65. This is a race that I'm following. It's not traction across the state, but the reason I'm following this one is this is a mayor's race, Sandy Springs, okay? And this is Rusty Paul, Sandy Springs Mayor Rusty Paul, is facing a challenger from Jody Reich, right? Is that her name? Reich? Is that her name? And two other candidates. Now, Rusty Paul is in Sandy Springs, supported, endorsed. He's doing a fundraiser for him. All right. Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp wants to control Sandy Springs. And on top of that, he's a lobbyist. The details on this guy, the Georgia Record, has a complete breakdown of this guy right here, Rusty Paul, complete breakdown, and why he should not continue to be the mayor of Sandy Springs. So that being said, 67 Democrats are looking at, and I've said this before, Democrats are looking, this is Charlie Bailey. He is the chair of the Democrat Party of Georgia. He's been traveling the Georgia coast last week. He made stops at several counties. Brantley, who voted 91% for Trump. Camden, Charlottetown, Gwynn, let's see, Ware County. He went all through the first district of those all first district counties. The Democrat chair of the Democrat Party. Tomorrow night, right here, number 5, Mike Collins will be having his kickoff tomorrow night. If you go register, it's free, 6 to 8. His Senate kickoff is tomorrow night. So, well, look, I'm going to run, and I want to thank you for bearing with me. Let me just say this. I said this in the first hour. Don't forget, number 8, this guy's endorsed by Kemp. Derek Dooley is endorsed by Kemp, and then take it down. Just show it. That's Kemp's candidate right there against Mike Collins. Take that down. So I said this in the first 2 hours, and I appreciate it. And so many of you out there, I know the audience, and you're great people. If you just put my mom on your prayer list, she's in the hospital, and she has to have some tests. And she has to have some tests done. They do they're concerning her heart. And so there's a lot of things my sisters and I were having to talk about where mom's concerned. She's doing great. Talked to her yesterday. Sounds great, but she has to have some tests. She has some blockage, and so we'll go from there. But I appreciate you guys very much. I'm sorry if I seemed a little out of sorts today. My apology for that. All right, folks. It's 11 o'clock. Diane, I appreciate you. We will be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Don't forget, put our main up there. If you have anything you want to share with our program, anything that you need to share, you guys send so much stuff. It's great. This is where I get most of the information that we work on. Don't forget, you can email or text me. Diane, let's get out of here, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thank you very much.